بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Okay, welcome dear students in this lecture, the lecture number 3, which is unit number 3 in this course, which is intro, okay, edition 4. In this lecture, we are going to explain. Now, do you know that the title of this lecture is Where Are You From? Where are you from? So the first point in this lecture, we have some names of cities and some countries, and just we have to match. Okay, so about these countries and those cities, which city in which country. So now look at these two columns. We have the first column, we have cities, and in the second one we have some countries, and you have to match these cities to those countries. For example, Tokyo, Seoul, Mexico City, New York City, Mumbai, Jakarta, Sao Paulo, Delhi, Osaka, Shanghai. So these are cities, and then you have some countries in the second column, which is on the right: Brazil, China, India, Indonesia, Japan, Mexico, South Korea, and the US. So this is only, that means you have some names of some cities and some names of some countries, and you have to match these cities to those countries. Now, just because now the title of this unit is Where Are You From? Okay, where are you from? So this is a question that asks about that means your native place. So just he gave you these names of these countries and these cities. And now look, we have where are you from? Where are you from? So this question is used to ask someone about his native place. What's your native place? Okay, so where are you from? I'm from Indonesia. So now look at this question, where are you from? You know that the form of this question, and how do you make a question? That means that give information using verbs to be. Where are you from? Where are you from? Okay, I'm from Indonesia. I'm from Indonesia. So to the second question, are you from Jakarta? Are you from Jakarta? Yes, I am. So now the first question is WH question, and the second question is a yes/no question because it have R at the beginning. So now these two questions are different. Question, and now the answer is. So you have to give your native place. When someone asks you where are you from, so you can say I'm from Indonesia, I'm from Yemen, I'm from, for example, India, and so on. Okay, so now at this point, in this lecture, we are going to explain also how do we make negative statements and also yes/no questions with verbs to be. Okay, negative statements, I think I gave you an idea about how do you make some sentences negative, in English, especially those statements with the verbs to be. For example, now if you have a statement with verb to be is, or are, for example, I'm a doctor, I'm a teacher, I'm a nurse. So how do you make these statements negative? So this is a very easy point. That means one of the easiest, that means negative forms of in English is the negative of those verbs to be. Number one, statements with verbs to be are made negative by adding not after verb be. So that means if you have a statement with verb to be, so only use not after that verb to be, and so the sentence would be negative here. For example, I'm a teacher, you can say I'm not a teacher. I'm a teacher, I'm not a teacher. He's a doctor, he's not a doctor. So now look, we have an example here. It's a big country. It's a big country. It's not a big country. It is not a big country. So now making negative with verbs to be is only by adding not after verbs to be. Number two, yes/no questions also. I think we have explained those two types of questions, yes/no questions and also WH questions. Now yes/no questions with verbs to be are made by putting verb be at the beginning followed by subject. For example, so that means we put verb to be at the beginning and then followed by the subject. For example, are you John? Is Ahmed a doctor? Is he a teacher? So now verb to be at the beginning, and then followed by a subject. So it gives yes/no question, and then the answer should be yes or no. So now look, we have the second point now here. Yes/no questions with verb to be are made by putting verb be at the beginning followed by subject. That means the subject comes after verb to be. And then we have, so now look, are you John? So the answer is yes, I am. Is she at home? No, she is not. So these are two yes/no questions because the beginning verbs to be and so the answer should be yes or no. Now look at this conversation. Are you from Seoul? In this conversation also we have practice. Practice, that means the practice of verbs to be, and how do you make, that is, questions using verbs to be, and how do you answer those questions using verbs to be. Because this unit is concerned with, that means, names of countries, and that means the asking about the origins, and the native places. So now look at this conversation. We have Tim and Jessica. Tim and Jessica. Tim, are you from California, Jessica? Are you from California, Jessica? So now here the question, are you from? Are you from California? Are you from California? So are you, here is a question, yes, no, a question. We have are at the beginning and then followed by the subject you. Jessica said, my family is in California now, but we are from South Korea. Okay, my family is in California now, but we are from South Korea originally. So Tim said, oh, my mother is Korean, from Seoul. Okay, are you from Seoul? Are you from Seoul? Jessica said, no, we are not. So this is a question, yes, no, question. No, we are not. We are from Daejeon. Okay, Tim, so is your first language Korean? Jessica said, yes, it is. Okay, yes, it is. So now only we have only practicing, that means the yes, no questions. How do you make yes, no questions, and how do you answer those yes, no questions? This is only an exercise for this point. Complete the conversations, he or she, and then we have A, B. It's a conversation A and B. And now look, we have he or she. You and Meiko from Japan. So use verb to be here. Is it is you or are you? So yes, then complete the answer. Yes, we are. Okay, yes, I am. So now that means you have to make correct question, and then you have answer that question according to the to answer that means according to the question you give, so that the answer should be correct one. For example, now we are going to give you number one as an example. He or she, are you and Meiko from Japan? Are you, because we have you here, and plural, you and Meiko. So we have to use are here, not is. So the answer will be yes, we are. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. So then try to complete this conversation using verbs to be. Okay. Also, you have the second conversation, the same. Laura. Okay, you have A and B. Laura from the US. So is it is or are? Is Laura from the US or are Laura from the US? So use the correct verb to be here, and then the answer also should be correct according to the question. So you have to give correct question, and then the answer should be correct. If you give incorrect question, so that means the answer will be incorrect. Now look at these. Okay, we have some questions, and then we have some answers, and you have to match the questions with the answers to find out if you understand. Okay, so that means which question is suitable to which answer, and also which answer is okay for which question. So now look at this question. Now we have, are you and your family from Canada? Are you and your family from Canada? So this is a question. So what do you think? Which answer will be okay for this question, will be suitable for this one? So for example, now we can say, are you, because we have are you and your family from Canada. So now the question here is about plural, so it should be yes, we are from Kyoto. Okay, or no, we are not, we are from Australia. Yes, so now the answer will be no, we are not, we are from Australia. Are you and your family from Canada? No, we are not, we are from Australia. لا نحن من أستراليا. So this is the answer for the first question. So now the second question, is your first language English? Is your first language English? So which one will be okay for this question? So you have to read the answers and find out which one is suitable for this question, and that will be clear from the question itself. Okay, are you from Japan? Are you from Japan? So now look at the answers, and which answer will suit this question. Okay, is Mr. Ho from China? Is your mother from US? So now these are some questions and some answers, and you have to read the question carefully, and then read the answers carefully, and you have to give the correct answer for those questions. Now look, we have pronunciation, syllable stress. So in this book, in this course, he gives some pronunciation rules, and you remember we have given you the pronunciation, for example, of linked sound is, and also we have the pronunciation of plural is, and now we have the pronunciation. That means we have syllable stress. Syllable stress. Syllable stress means you say that syllable with stronger tone than other syllables. That means the syllable stress, that means you can say that syllable, you say that syllable with stronger tone. That means, for example, we can say number 2, stretched syllables are longer than unstretched ones. That means the syllable is stronger, stronger and it is longer. That means the stretched syllable also longer than that unstretched ones. Okay, the stretched syllables also are marked by bigger circles here. So now look, we have these words. We have names of countries here. We have China, Japan, Canada, Morocco. So now, for example, we have China and Turkey here. Okay, we have, now we have China, we have 2 syllables. We have China, 2 syllables. So which one is stressed? Which syllable is stressed here? And we have a big circle and we have a small circle. So the syllable with the big circle here will be the stressed syllable. So because it is stressed and because it's longer one. It's longer than the second one. Now we have, look now, for example, we have China, China, China. Now look, China, the first syllable here is stressed, but the second one is unstressed syllable. Turkey, Turkey, Japan. That now look at Japan, we have the second syllable here is stressed, but the first one is not stressed. Now, why? Because the second syllable in Japan is longer than the first one. Japan, Japan, Japan. So now all these words, that means they have in Canada, for example, Canada, we have 3 syllables in this word, Canada, and the first syllable is stressed here. That means because it's longer, we can say Canada, Canada, Canada. So the first syllable here is stressed because it is longer than the other syllables. So this is only pronunciation rule and how that means which syllable can be stressed and which one cannot be stressed. That means the longer syllable is can be stressed than the other ones. Now we have some other also practice for these. For stress, we have these words: English, Mexican, Spanish, Honduras, Arabic, Chinese, Korean, Peru. So these words, names of countries, you have to say them correctly and try to find out which syllable is stressed in these. In these words. Now we have grammar folks, which questions that WH questions will be. I think we have explained this point before, and I gave you an idea about how do you make a question that is a WH question using verbs to be. And we said that those question words, like for example, what, like where, like who, like how. So these are question words and they are called WH words. So if there's a question with these words, so this is called WH question. WH question. And now how do you make that means those WH questions with verbs to be? So we use the question word first. Now, for example, where, or when, or who, and then followed by verb to be. So, for example, what's, what is, and then subject. So, what's this? What's your name? For example, what's your name? Where are they? Where are the boys? For example, so what's this? It's my briefcase. What's this? It's my briefcase. Where are you from? I'm from Brazil. Who's that? He's my brother. Who's that? He's my brother. How old is he? He's 17. What's Istanbul like? Istanbul is very old and beautiful. So these are WH questions with verbs. That means the WH word here followed by verb to be. WH word and then verb to be and then subject. So these are WH questions with verbs to be, and the answer should be information for these questions. So you have to practice saying and making some questions like these. I have to ask about so many things using WH questions and using all those WH words that you know. For example, what, when, where, why, who, how, which. So you can practice saying some questions, giving some questions like these questions using verbs to be after them. Now we have completed the conversations with WH questions. So now look, you have, that the answer usually, if how do you make a question in a conversation, if you have an answer, you can make a question concerning that means according to that answer. For For example, here the answer here in this exercise here, we have I'm from Yemen. I'm from Yemen, from Taiz. I'm from Yemen, from Taiz. So, okay, I'm from Yemen here. So what's the question? So it will be, Abdullah, where are you from? Where are you from? So how do you know that the question is where are you from? Because we have the answer is I'm from Yemen. So the question should be where are you from? So that means the answer here gives you, and that is an indication about the question and what question shall be used for this answer. Okay, number, for example, the second one here we have Taz is very nice. Taz is very nice. So what's the question here? What's the question here? What's Taz like? What's Taz like? So my last name is Saeed, for example. So what's your last name? So that means read the answer carefully and try to understand the answer first, and then you have to make a question, okay, according to that answer. Now number and ages. We have only these numbers. Okay, you have to know about these. I think you know about the numbers from 1 to 10, and then we have these numbers are from 11, okay, to 100 and 103. So now we have 11, 12, 11, 12, and then you have 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So all these from 13 to 19 end in this syllable, which is teen. 19, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And then we have 20. And then we have 20, 30, 40, and so on. Then 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. And then 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, and to 39, and then 40, 50, 60, 70. So you have to follow the same way to say those, okay, numbers. And then you have 100, 101, 102, and so on. So these are only numbers. If you are going to, for example, read a date or some, okay, long, for example, okay, numbers, you have to understand how you say these numbers. Now complete this these conversations. Okay, number one, okay, we have who's that. So now we have also the same. Okay, that means I know that you know that the how do you make WH questions, and if you have the answer, you can ask about that answer. They can give suitable question for the answer that you have. For example, who's that? Okay, so he's a new student. He's a new student. So now look here, A and B, the second one here. Okay, I think his name is Ming. So now what's the question here will be? So what's his name? What's his name? I think his name is Ming. So okay, Ming, he is from China. Yes, so that means, okay, if you want to answer, that means to make a question, and you have a conversation like this one, a conversation, that means you have answers, and then you are required to write the question. So you have to read the answer first, and you have to understand the answer, and then you have to make some questions, okay, related to that answer. And this is also the same way. That means you have to complete this, okay, this conversation. Now we have a conversation also. Now we have he's cute. Okay. Now we have Emma. Who's that? Jill, he's my brother. Emma, wow, he's cute. What's his name? Jill said, James. We call him Jim. Emma, oh, how old is he? Jill, he's 21 years old. Now here, he uses only, okay, the number here, because you have the number now. Okay, so also in numbers you can give the age of someone, okay, using the correct number. Okay, and you have to say those numbers in a correct way. Yes, now look, we have, okay, these, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 people now. Okay, 6 pictures of 5 pictures, and in these pictures you have, okay, names of these people, and okay, how old are these people, and you have to complete these okay, sentences. Okay, look at the people here. Okay, look at the people in Jill's family. This is in. Okay, look at the people in Jill's family. How old are they? How old are they? Write sentences. So now look, we have Helen is 76. Howard is 52. And Jackie is 49. Megan is 23. Tim and Tom are 14. So these are their ages. Now that means Helen is 76 years old. So now these their names and their ages here. Okay. Now look at these, okay, spaces. Okay, you have to complete these sentences and make some sentences, okay, related to these people. For example, now you have a Helen. Okay, Helen. So what can we say here on this one? So we can say Helen is 76. Helen is 76. Howard is 52. Jackie is 49. Okay, Megan is so and so 23. Tim and Tom. Tim and Tom, here is the letter N here is missed. Okay, Tim and Tom, okay, are 14 because we have two people plural. You have to say Tim and Tom are 14. So just you have to make some sentences, okay, using these numbers and using verbs to be, and you have to give correct, okay, structures for these sentences. Okay, description. Now we'll come to this point, which is how to describe someone, okay, a person, for example. Okay, describing people involves, okay, memorizing some adjectives, and you have to know some adjectives that are used, okay, if you want to give description for someone. If you want to describe, for example, someone, some persons, some people, okay, so you have to, okay, know about some adjectives that you are going to use in your description. So now we have some of those adjectives that can be used to describe someone. Okay, so now adjectives for describing people's personalities and appearance. Yes, now look at these adjectives. We have pretty, handsome, good-looking, talkative, quiet, funny, serious, shy, short, tall, friendly, heavy, thin. So these are adjectives that describe maybe sometimes people's personalities and sometimes appearance. Appearance, for example, now we have this in this chart here. Below we have, okay, two columns, and you have to classify these adjectives. Okay, we have different adjectives, and you have to classify all these adjectives according to the chart here, because you have now personality and appearance. So that means which adjectives, okay, describe appearance and which ones describe personality. Okay, you know, appearance, that means something that you can see in that person. For example, short, we can say short. We can say thin. We can say tall. We can say, for example, heavy one. Okay, so these adjectives, handsome, for example. So these adjectives describe the appearance of someone. That means something that you can see in that person. But the personality, that means something that you cannot see. For example, I can say friendly. Friendly, this is an adjective that gives the personality of someone. That means I cannot see that in his appearance. Or for example, we can say talkative. Okay, talkative, it is not appearance, so it is personality. Quiet also is not, okay, appearance, it is personality. Okay, but for example, you have good looking, you have tall, you have short, you have thin. All these express appearance of a person. So now you have to classify these adjectives into two types: personality adjectives and appearance adjectives, and you have to know, okay, their pronunciation as well. Yes, now in this point we have using the prepositions of place, which I think you have an idea before concerning this point, the prepositions of place. Now just we have practicing using these prepositions of place. We have on, in, behind, in front of, next to, and under, and you know the meanings of these prepositions before. Okay, I think in the first and the second lecture we knew about, okay, using and the meanings of these, okay, prepositions. For example, now you can make some sentences concerning, or some questions and answer concerning this, okay, picture. Okay, look at the picture and answer the questions below. So now look at the questions. Here we have, where's the bag? Number one, where's the bag? Okay, so now look, where is the bag? It is under the table. So now look, it's under the table. So now you have to look at the picture and answer these questions. Number two, we have, where are the glasses? Where are the glasses? Where are they? Look now with the picture, we have the glasses are next to the television. Next to the television. So you have to look at the picture carefully, and you have to read the questions carefully also, and then you have to answer them in a good way, correctly. And okay, so you know about these, okay, the prepositions of place. Thank you very much. So now we'll come to the end of this lecture. Okay, thank you very much for listening, and I hope you got all the points that you have explained. Thank you very much.